pause. A calm before the storm. A storm that would eventually slam us. I wasn't ready. None of us were. The Back Then. 2. Canada Dry. August 21st. 3 months post-outbreak. We tried. More and more, over the radio, speaking to people. An infection-free zone was a reality. We just had to find it. Like a hamster in a wheel, we spun through different phases of emotions on our journey to see the wonderful, undead-free world of Canada. Repeating the emotions every step of the way. Hope, fear, happiness, despair, repeat. When we arrived, Canada was, from what we saw, infection-free. The closer we got, the less infected we saw. It was evident they also couldn't take chances, and I believed they thought a lot through. Things that never crossed my mind, like children without families. They had an orphan program, which was great, until it affected us and they took one of our own. Billy. Billy's parents had been killed, so we took responsibility for him, but it didn't matter. We were informed, like a lost and found object, that if no family crossed over from the United States and claimed him, we could have him back after 30 days. That was warning 1. They were strict with rules that really made sense. Harsh rules that I agreed with until they applied to us. No bites. No exceptions. To conceal them was a death sentence, even if the bite mark had never caused an infection. Such was the case with Corbin. He and his son Sawyer were part of our group. They joined us not long after the outbreak, traveling with 2 others. They, too, came with Lev, Katie, and me to check out Canada while the others stayed behind, waiting for a newborn infant to get strong. Corbin had been bitten months before. His wound had healed, and, like Katie, he never turned. Unlike Katie, though, he still got sick. He just beat it. Why wouldn't the health officials in Canada want him? He, along with my daughter, could be the cure, or a means to stop it. Corbin, actually all of us, naively believed that his failure to turn into a raging beast was something authorities needed to know. It was Lev who innocently told doctors about it when they took him to medical. Lev had been shot and had his leg broken. He talked to them about Corbin, something I don't think he'll ever forgive himself over. When they asked him, Corbin confirmed it, never giving it a second thought. His honesty was met with a bullet. No delay, no hesitation. The second he showed his scar, a gun was placed to his head. Shot dead in front of my daughter, and even worse, his son. When they asked if anyone else had been bitten, my daughter said she had. But before they could shoot her, Lev went into some sort of protection mode. My gentle giant of a friend went ballistic on the soldier, beating him within a fraction of his life, only to be beaten in return within a fraction of his. They released us because of the action of the callous soldier. We found ourselves out of Canada, in the middle of the night, in the car we had strategically hidden just in case. Me, Lev, and Katie. Not only did they shoot Corbin, they kept his son under their orphan law. I begged and pleaded, saying he had a grandfather and uncle back in the States that were not far behind. That didn't matter. The relative would have to make their way to Canada to claim Sawyer. Sawyer cried and cried, screaming for us. My heart was already broken for Corbin and frightened with how beaten Lev was. Sawyer's cries were salt in an open wound. Everything crumbled. Once back in the car, I couldn't go anywhere. I radioed to tell everyone back at the cabin what had happened. Ben told me what to do for Lev. It was very little and seemed hopeless. His head was bleeding and he coughed up blood. He could barely keep consciousness. Ben offered to send Fleck to help, but I declined. I would head out at first light. That was